Hi guys, this is Rakesh here, and me along with Nilesh, we are hosting the Authors Corner, and we have today Debashish, and we're going to have a lot of interesting conversations around what has been his journey and what are the things which he has been able to give our readers community. What has been the whole process of thinking, and also today he's excited to talk about his new book. So over to you, Devashish. I would like you to give a just gist of the whole thing which we want to talk. Yeah.
So I got in touch with Nilesh a couple of days back, and he said that we're going to do this interview in which basically we'll try to provide some tidbits of wisdom to new aspiring authors, as well as people who are planning to write their next book or their first book. So I'm definitely very happy to be a part of this initiative, and thanks to Nilesh and Rakesh for this supportive gesture towards the writers and the writers community across India and abroad. So yeah, my I would like obviously during the interview we'll be getting into the details of my journey, but just to
Yeah.
give a basic gist of it, I started the process of writing when I was around 14, when I used to write short stories in my dad's diaries and everything. And obviously after that, school and academics and everything came into the way, so I then went into studying literature, then I went into script writing. And it's been around 10 years of being in Bombay and script writing so far. And in between this journey, I also wrote my first novel, my second novel, and now consequently my third novel, which was released in 2019. So yeah, I hope that this discussion helps a lot of aspiring writers in their journey, and I look forward to getting into the whole details of the entire process and help out in whatever way I can. So
So Devashish,
Sure.
from your first book, Mimi are multiple, and then second Charlie's next, door, and then third. So genre of all those books are different. Now you are writing thriller. First was romantic comedy sort of book. Second was the same line. Third was thriller.
yeah.
Why thriller now? Why do you think it's time to change the genre
I would
you're
just like to add a little bit twist to the same
Mhm.
question. Is it something which has impacted the way you have lived in your life, and there were certain interesting intersections in your life where you
Mhm.
thought about these subjects and you started thinking about it? Just wanted to add on the question. So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because, like I said, I've been script writing. I've been a script writer for the past 10 years now in the industry, and most of the work that I've done was for thrillers on Indian television. So you have your Savdhan India, your Ahat, your uh, Arjun, and like a lot of the stuff was just thrillers basically. And I think after a point, the impression which was around in the market was that I'm basically more of a thriller writer. But ironically, during the time when I was writing those same crime thrillers like Adalat and Ahat and horror thrillers thing, I came up with the idea for Mimia Multiple, which was my first book. And like Nilesh said, it was a romantic comedy. It was a quirky romance. So yeah,
Mhm.
while I was writing those thriller episodes, I actually would also get back home, and after my deadlines for the episodes were done, I would write a little bit every day of this quirky romantic comedy. So I guess from the very beginning, I never had a problem shifting between genres because ultimately, I don't look at a subject as a genre or a what should I say, a space. I look at it in terms of how much it excites me as an idea. You know, so whether it's a film story, whether it's a film script or a book, if I feel that this is a story that I would love to watch on screen or read uh, in my hands as a book, then I definitely pursue it. So for me, genre is secondary. The first thing which I go for is the amount of excitement and relatability I feel to it as a reader, and whether or not it will be enough to sustain the journey, because it's a long journey, right? Like from the time when you begin a book to the time when you end it, and then there's a whole other thing about approaching publishers, agents, and the time which the book comes takes to come out in the market. So you're easily
Correct.
looking at around 2 to 3 years, and that
Yes.
is besides the whole struggle of actually completing a manuscript, after beginning it, despite your daily challenges which all of us have in our lives. So it has to be an
Mhm.
idea of which you are 150% sure that will keep you sustained throughout the journey.
Right.
It's a long journey. Yes,
It is a long
I agree
journey.
to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So adding on to that, Nilesh, I would like to ask also one more important part, that how do you choose your title? Like it's a very difficult thing to do,
Yeah.
because all your titles have been amazing, and I
Thank you.
love each of those words being used, and I think some of them have quickly make you excited to talk about it, like, right?
Yeah.
So how did you choose those? Like that it comes with a lot of thought. It looks like easy, but it is not so. That's what I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not exactly. For Mimia Multiple, I think I kind of had the title already, but the thing is that if you have a mainstream publisher like HarperCollins, which published all three of my books, then it's kind of also like a collaborative process. So they will ask you for title options, then they will give some suggestions of their own, and in the end, final call is yours. As the author, that which one do you want to go with? So in Mimia Multiple also we had 2-3 options, but I liked Mimia Multiple the best, and so we stuck with that. Otherwise, it was I think the other options were like Mia Multiple or Me and Mia, something like that. And Tune for the Dead, like my third novel, was something that we struggled with because Tune is it's a book that I've co-written with another writer, a friend of mine, Anshul Vijay Bargia, and we were kind of thinking on what to do, like what kind of a title would do justice to the story. So we got some suggestions from our editor and Prerna, and then I think she finally came up with Tune for the Dead. So that was one in which excited us the most. So we went with it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So in Mimia Multiple, Devashish, we see a touch to the social, the things that is in our society, the child abuse.
Yeah.
What do you find in these other two books, The Charlie's Next Door and Tune for the Dead? Is it,
Charlie, sorry.
yeah, yeah, please.
No, Charlie Next Door is kind of in a same space as Mimia Multiple, but it's definitely much more realistic. Like it's very slice of life drama, So it's
Okay.
it's set in a cooperative housing society in Bombay, a building where you have different floors and different neighbors, and the protagonist is a 42-year-old widowed mother of two. Like her husband passed away a year back, and she's still getting a lot of sympathy from her neighbors, which she hates. Like she doesn't want to live her whole life being the Sati Savitri of the neighborhood, but she has no choice. And what
Okay.
happens when this really charming and slightly quirky 24-year-old guy shifts next door to her, and the very unlikely bonding and love story that follows between them, along with its consequences on her family and the entire building block, which has always had a very huge monitoring thing on each one of its inhabitants. So that's
Mhm.
why, and the guy's name is Charlie. So the book was called Charlie Next Door because it's about how this woman's life changes when this guy whom shifts next door to her, like one of the most
Okay.
unlikeliest of bonding she could have thought of.
Yes.
And yeah,
And
Tune for the
yeah.
Dead is actually based on a film story that Anshul and I had. So it was basically about this. We had this really nice log line where what happens when a series of suicides are committed across different places, starting with Manali, then Kolkata, then in Beijing, China. And it seems like there's no relation between the three victims. But then, as this really small town private detective Dhruv, he starts getting into the mystery of the murder in Manali
Mhm.
because he's based in Manali. He realizes that there's something odd about the way in which the victims died, even though it was definitely a suicide. But there's some stuff which is unanswered, and how, as he goes on the journey of this one victim in Manali, he starts uncovering the pattern across the other suicides and the greater conspiracy behind the whole thing. So,
Oh, that would be an interesting read, I guess.
yeah. I mean, it excited us, so we went with it.
Yeah, it
Okay.
has to do a lot with the psyche of like understanding what's gone wrong,
Yeah.
and that inquisitiveness is something which drives all of us.
Yes.
So I think today, if you see, a lot of talk is around the Bollywood author, Bollywood actor who has committed suicide. So I don't want to name it right now, but I
Mm,
think Sushant, of course.
mm,
So I think something that we will also connect, because it's not so straightforward as it looks most of the cases. So I
mm,
think that kind of a storyline would be really exciting because people are looking at storylines like that,
mhm.
and which gives you a spin on what is the real truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. I guess.
I
Yeah.
yeah. So there was just one more thing I just wanted to check was
Yeah.
how whom in your family thought of like did anyone help you support you during your journey? Who was your inspiration? These are the two relevant questions which I thought we should have, because that is something which authors would like to know more, because it's the journey. In the journey
Mhm.
you need someone in your family or your friends or someone, and also at the same time someone to aspire for, right?
Right.
So what are these are the two relevant things which I thought I would like to know more from you. Yeah.
Sure. As far as I can remember, I've always loved to read as a kid. It's not something which my parents used to make me do. It's something that I just always loved to do. Like my mom literally has photos of me as a baby, reading comics, even though obviously I couldn't make out anything, but I just love to stare at the pages. So there are actually
Yeah.
pictures of that. And as I grew up, I really immersed myself into comics. Like you had your Amar Chitra Katha in those times.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to love those. I used to
Yeah.
binge on those, big time. You had your
Yeah.
Archie's comics, your Tinkle, your Chanda Mama, and everything. And I used to just, I used to just finish them and ask for the next edition as soon as possible. So what my dad used to do is he used to put up this test where he would ask me that, if you can narrate the story of the previous book completely, then I'll give you the next book. So I literally used to narrate the story of the entire book to him. And that's when he would get me another comic. So they really
Yeah.
encouraged that part of me, which used to love reading, and they were proud of it. And I think when and since my dad's in the army, so we were moving around a lot. So every 2 to 3 years we would be in a new location. So ironically, the writing bug hit me at a time when I was in a place where there was nothing to read, which was in Kota, Rajasthan during the I think early 2000s. So I was living in a
Hmm.
military cantonment, and we didn't have any libraries or anything at that time, so I didn't have any novels to read. But then I somehow managed to get my hands on this Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban book, and it just blew me away when I saw it, when I read it. So I was like, this is something I want to do sometime in my life. So like I said, at that time, I was around 14 at the time, and I started by writing ideas and short stories into my dad's diary, which was very amateur work, but I just kept at it. Then after my 12th, I did my English honors from Delhi University, followed by my MA English again from Delhi University.
Mhm.
And then, but I didn't know there were no creative writing courses in India at the time. And I
Yeah.
was like, what should I do then? What can I do to write? So script writing seemed like the most viable thing for me to do. So I gave the FTI entrance exam. I got into the script writing course, and shortly after that, I moved to Bombay around 2011 beginning.
Okay.
And after that, my script writing career started officially, and so did my book writing thing.
Mhm.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
one part of it, whom do you think is who inspired, like someone like in the author community, or is it some special person in your life?
Who inspired? I would definitely say that J.K. Rowling had a J.K. Rowling had a huge influence on me at the time, and since then I discovered a lot of good writers like Mark Haddon and um, oh god, I can't think of specific names right now, but I began to follow a
That's
lot
fine.
of
That's fine. Yeah.
even Manu Joseph in India. Like I love his
Okay.
satirical humor and the kind of black comedy
Mhm.
that he does. So yeah, so I just kept reading a lot, and I was like, and I started studying a lot, because in script writing you learn how to analyze stories as well, the structure, the characterization, the flow of the narrative. So I started to put all of those things into practice, and that's how it began. And like I said, my family has been very supportive. My parents and my brother, they understood my passion, and they did everything they could to encourage it, so that really helped.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
So
So
something new
yeah.
about this book in which you are talking about, I would like to know your new book a little bit more. So if you could give some like how did it start, and like how did you enjoy the process? So a
And
bit
what
more
uh,
sort of
about it.
research you did for that?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
what sort of research we did? We basically we see. I've always loved detective fiction as such, but not the usual, like something with a twist. So I used to love this series called Castle, which used to come on Star World, and I also used to
Hmm.
love, and obviously BBC Sherlock was something that I really enjoyed watching. And so I've always had a thing for good detective fiction. And when Anshul and I were developing this idea, we kind of knew what the plot points were going to be, what the character was going to be like. So I think the third book was written the fastest. I think in 2 to 3 months I had the draft
Wow.
ready. So yeah, because everything was cracked, and unlike
That
a
was very good.
unlike a character driven drama where you have to think about motivations and like you have to pay attention to a lot of stuff in the characters and the narrative. In a detective fiction, it's very event driven, right? So if the events are cracked, it's more or less pretty much simple to go through. So I got in touch with my agent, Kanishk, and I told him that I have a detective fiction manuscript ready, so if you're interested, I can send it. So he's like, yeah, send it to me. So I sent it to him, and I think in 2 to 3 weeks we got a confirmation from Harper as well that we're
Okay.
good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
great.
And this was during the pandemic, or this is
No, no,
just
no.
before
No. This was in 2019. So
19? Okay. Okay.
yeah. So my first book came in 2015. My second came in 2017, and this came in 2019.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
So what has been your learnings around the current scenario? So I would like to know a bit, because I think this is ideal for people
Mm-hmm.
since you have less of noise.
Yeah.
You're more at home and you are at at a place. And I have heard people moving to writing retreats, so that, because anyways everyone is now remote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone doesn't want to interact in a very social way because of the social distancing which we have to follow.
Right.
So I think, what has been your experiences? Did you do anything interesting? Did you move to some retreats, or did you spend some time where you could go out and find inspiration for your next project or something new?
No,
So
I
would like
no
to
no.
learn.
Yeah, I didn't have those luxuries of going to retreats and all. I mean, plus, yeah, I would say that the lockdown has definitely been a productive period for me overall, because initially, obviously, it was a little difficult to adjust to just staying indoors. But I kind of dealt with it by making a routine for myself, like from like what time am I waking up, what from so and so time to so and so time, what am I doing, which project am I working on, from so and so time to then you take a break, then lunch, then working again, writing again. So I would regulate my days because it gave me a sense of purpose. Because at a time when you're not going anywhere, or, like everything is kind of going slow, you do need something to drive yourself, right? So for me, a routine
Correct.
did that thing. So I was at home only, but I made sure that every day came with its own objectives and goals, and it gave me that kind of a kick, of course. And yeah, I watched a lot of stuff, I read a lot of stuff during the lockdown, so that really helped. And the good thing, like Nilesh and you were saying, like since because of Zoom, a lot of stuff has gone virtual. So
Yeah.
soon I think everybody got into a pattern as well, including the industry. So I've had a lot of
Yes.
meetings,
Yeah.
even writers room meetings, which have been on Zoom, which are still going on.
Yeah.
So while before the lockdown, we had to go to office and sit in that room for some time. Now it's all Google Meets and Zoom. So it's kind of been convenient that way.
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So it
Yeah.
gives you flexibility, but at the same time, I love the fact that you're telling that you schedule your day, because that is something in the initial few months. Actually, even I didn't get a chance to do scheduling, because work is literally entered into your personal life, to be honest,
Yeah.
from our experiences. So you need to regulate, and we need to just pull the plug sometimes to just be with yourself. That's the point, I would say. Okay. So, Nilesh, anything specific you want to
Yes,
address now?
I
Mm.
have this question, the Devashish, from your first book, Me and Multiple, and then the second, Charlie's Negatives, and this is last one, Tune for the Dead. So how do you find your marketing of the book change? Like for the very first book, you need to establish your brand as Devashish Jennings, who might be author, best-selling author. Now the last book, the recent book, the current book that you're. So how do you think the marketing changed for you? Like how did you go for the marketing of the book, of those from the
Uh,
very first beginning to the end?
there was a time when Goodreads used to give giveaways, which was like
Mm-hmm.
free. I don't think they're free
Mm-hmm.
anymore, but it used to be, and it was a very good way to do it, because the whole funda behind a giveaway is that you let people enter this contest where you'll give away two books, or one book, which is an author signed
Okay.
copy. And we got a lot of response from that, because a lot of people wanted to get a free copy. So of Mimia Multiple. So we did
Mm-hmm.
that, and a lot of people, and because they are registering for the contest, so those people are getting to know about your book as well. So even if one or two people will win from it, but at least a lot of people added it to their to read list, right? So that really helped. And in Media Multiple, we also gave interviews to FM. Even in Tune for the Dead, we gave interviews to like Radio FM, and these were all arranged by HarperCollins only.
Okay.
And yeah, and I think for Charlie Next Door, as well as Mimia Multiple, I did some book signings in bookstores across Delhi, because that's where the HarperCollins main office is. So I went to their office and we discussed like how to go about the book before it was coming out. Then I went to the major bookstores across in Khan Market, Connaught Place. Again, this was all arranged by Harper. I talked to the retailers and spread word about the book and signed a couple of copies. So that helped. And yeah, I think the most innovative we went for was with Vimeo Multiple, where I would also we also made a small ad for the book and stuff. And
Okay.
yeah, and we
Okay.
had a good launch for Mimia Multiple. We had Javed Akhtar and Arjun Kapoor coming in as the chief guests. So that got a lot of media attention as well. And for Charlie Next Door, since the subject is a little niche, so we went the whole social media way and this way. Tune for the Dead, since we already had a following amongst our show viewers, like a lot of these viewers are quite
Yeah,
faithful,
yeah.
and they're
Correct,
still in
correct.
touch with us through social media. So
Mm.
that helped. And because the logline was interesting, so there's a particular section of thriller readers who are looking for something new, so they were attracted to it. So yeah, it's been
Okay.
mostly word of mouth and through certain
Mm-hmm.
initiatives taken by
Okay.
Harper and us.
Right. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
in a way you have built like a community for people who look for the particular interest, that is thrillers and interesting stories,
Yeah.
which runs and excites you, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's very interesting. I think we are also excited about that, and I think the market is evolving. So as you know, we ourselves as well building something for last few years, and it's been phenomenal work which we have been able to achieve till now. Of
Hmm.
course, there have been hiccups in between. There have been a lot
mm.
of changes, but I think what I feel is there is a need for, like, example, which market to launch in, what segments to look at, which cities and pockets are very important for you. I think
Right.
that is something today it's still missing.
Hmm.
And I think Nilesh, you would like to add on that
Yes,
specific to the zinc,
because
which yeah,
yeah. So because see, what our idea behind that is basically, as you said, Goodreads. You used to do the gift event thing. The point was basically, for the authors to know about the reader community. There is a community of the readers who want to, who is waiting for your book, but you have to know who those readers are. So
Hmm.
that's what our plan to, to help authors in knowing more about the readers, and at the same time to make readers know more about the author. So the mutual connectivity that establishes,
Hmm.
that's where we work. We are trying to work basically.
Right.
So that's why we have this idea of you know uh, telling the author that your book is being scanned. So book scanning, as we know, the Zinc application enable the authors to upload their videos on top of the book cover. So at the same time, whenever anybody would scan your book anywhere across the world, so you would know that, yeah, okay, somewhere from this country per se, or some this location is reading my book. Now that someone is could be anyone. So that data matrix is also important,
Right.
that what is the age group of that readers, or what is the gender. So we would know ki, for the next time, for my next book, or the next book of the same genre, where I would want to target my marketing, where would I want to do the book reading or the launch events, all those things. That's what the matrix we provide to the authors. So
Right.
your Mimia multiple is there already on Zinc application, so
Yeah.
we are
Yeah. I
looking
got a
for
couple of
Charlie's next door.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
couple of alerts also from your app only. So
Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
exactly. So people do, scans. We, send them multiple book cover pages to test the scan. Whosoever downloads the new application, and they would get this notification to scan this and check out how the application works, how the whole ecosystem works. So that's what we also do.
Right.
So I would
yeah.
like to have Charlie's Next Door, and in fact, we would like to have Charlie's Next Door and Tune for the Dead as well on the platform.
Sure. Sure.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
So I think the idea I would like to just sum up is it would be interesting that if we all know that whatever we launch, we have to be our own marketeer for all the authors, right?
Correct.
So I think that has been a big challenge, because writing and creative thinking is a separate thing which you have a challenge, which is the
Mhm.
major challenge actually, because
Mhm.
that is mostly the 90% of the time which goes into yours, right? And
Right.
of course, marketing is done obviously because publishers are keen on getting that story on so they are doing the thinking behind it. I think with this tool which we have, we can be your own marketer first. You can know who your audience is. Like example, today, if you go to Google Analytics for any website, you would know pretty much your users, your click through rate, who's been visiting, what they're doing, all that, right? So I
Right.
think that is the future which we are looking at with respect to Zing. We want to build that up, and I think you will know your readers very well, like which city they are coming in, or what kind of geo segment, or which say areas they are. And of course, end of the day, they get an opportunity to see what your story is through that video, or which is there on the book. And of course, and it gives you an opportunity to also get reviews from them. So there is
Mhm.
an option of video as well as text review.
Right.
And I don't know whether you're aware, there is an option of also, when you click on it, an appointment for you for any guest speaking or anything, that also we are built in. So I think in all, I think
Mm-hmm.
none of them are able to give something like this what we are doing. So that's interesting. But
Nice.
let's come back to the book again, Debashish.
Mhm.
What is the key message you want to share uh, with this book? And I think I would like to end up with also, what is the key message you want to give the author community, how they should be trading. I know that it's an advice; it might be taken with a caution, I think, but people want to know better about you in that direction. Yeah.
Right. So, regarding my books, like I said, like if the idea excites me, irrespective of the genre or you know, what are the expectations? Because a lot of times people have a certain expectation from a writer, right? That since he wrote so and so thing before this, so that's
Mm-hmm.
his strong point. But I don't let that dictate what I want to write. The only thing which matters to me is how much this particular idea excites me. So for Tune for the Dead, again, the whole idea of a conspiracy and you know, how many secrets can one person have, like a person who you think you know, and
Okay.
what is the extent of chaos that that can lead to was the driving force behind the story. So it's a story of secrets and conspiracies and you know, surface deception. So yeah, that's there. And with both Mimia Multiple and Charlie Next Door, I wanted to explore the whole concept of how sometimes even your loved ones don't really get you in a way that a stranger could get you know, when you least expect it.
Yes. Correct.
So
Yes.
that was the gist of those novels. And as far as my advice to the writing community is, obviously a lot of people have this fear and this insecurity, right? Because a book is a huge venture to take up, and you don't know whether you will be able to finish it. You don't know if you finish it, then whether somebody will
Mm-hmm.
publish it, and if you self-publish it, you don't know whether it will sell. So there are a lot of questions hanging in the air. So, and it's very natural to feel intimidated and to feel afraid before beginning the journey. But
Yeah, I
from
agree.
yeah, but from my personal experience, what I can say is that when you begin the journey, that's half the battle won, you know. So don't be afraid of
Yes.
failing. Don't
Mm-hmm.
be afraid of stumbling and rejections. Before I completed my first novel, I I think I attempted 2 to 3 books, you know, which didn't go through, and one of them I had to abandon midway after around 100 pages. It was
Okay.
definitely hard. It was heartbreaking, but the point is
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give up, you know, and that's ultimately what makes a difference. That don't give up and keep learning from your previous setbacks. Don't treat them as failures. Treat them more like lessons, and keep reading, keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving, and keep at it till you finish it, you know. And don't worry about the outcome. Make yourself happy as a reader first when you're writing. Don't think about market forces and, you know, genres and expectations. Make yourself happy as a reader with what you're writing, and the rest will follow. So yeah, that's the best advice I can give from my own experience.
That was a
Devashish,
very
that's
great gesture.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Devashish, we would like to quote you. Definitely, we'll
Sure.
be using your quote. Fantastic quotes which you have mentioned at the end, and I
Yeah,
think it would be inspiring for everyone to take the bite and just say that let's start. Let's not waste a moment more and just do it, even if it is in whichever direction we move. Right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much,
So
Debashish, for your time, for coming up and joining us for this interview. Uh, it is a it is a pleasure for us, to have you as in the Author's Corner.
The pleasure was all mine, Nilesh. Thanks so much to you and Rakesh for calling me in and for this gesture and this supportive thing that you're doing for writers. I really hope that it helps a lot of people in their journeys. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.